The human colony ship Wandering Star had been drifting through space for 3 weeks with no power. Captain Elena Martinez stood on the darkened bridge, watching her breath form small clouds in the freezing air. The backup generators had failed 2 days ago, and now only emergency lights flickered weakly along the corridors. "Captain, we're down to our last oxygen reserves," said Chen, the chief engineer. His voice was steady, but Elena could hear the fear underneath. "Maybe 6 hours left. 8, if we're lucky." Elena nodded slowly. She had already done the math. There were 417 people on this ship, mostly families, mostly children. They had left Earth seeking a new home on Kepler 442b, but now they would never arrive. "Keep trying to restart the main systems," she said quietly, "and send out another distress signal." Chen looked at her with sad eyes. "Captain, we've sent 43 distress signals. We're in uncharted space. Nobody knows we're here." Elena turned away from him and stared out at the endless stars. She refused to give up. She refused to tell those families that hope was gone. In the medical bay, Dr. Amara Singh was checking on the children. Many of them were already suffering from the cold. She wrapped blankets around a small girl named Lucy, who couldn't stop shivering. "When will it get warm again?" Lucy asked. Amara smiled gently. "Soon, sweetheart. Very soon." But Amara didn't believe her own words. She had seen the power readings. She knew what was coming. Suddenly, the ship shuddered. A deep rumbling sound echoed through the walls. Everyone froze. "What was that?" someone shouted. Elena rushed back to the bridge and checked the sensors. Her hands trembled as she read the data. Something massive was approaching them. Something the size of a small moon. "Is it a ship?" Chen asked, leaning over her shoulder. "I don't know," Elena whispered. "It's not like anything in our databases." The object moved closer. Through the viewport, they could see it now. It was enormous, covered in strange geometric patterns that glowed with a soft blue light. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a station. It was something completely unknown. Elena felt her heart pounding. This could be their salvation or their doom. The communication system crackled to life. Everyone jumped at the sound. It had been silent for weeks. A voice spoke. It was deep and resonant, like rolling thunder. But the words were clear, spoken in perfect English. "Human vessel, we have received your distress calls. We are the Kelthara. Do you require assistance?" Elena grabbed the microphone with shaking hands. Yes, we need help. Our ship has no power. We have limited oxygen. We have children aboard." There was a pause. Then the voice spoke again. "We understand. We will send help immediately. Prepare for boarding." Within minutes, a section of the alien structure extended toward the Wandering Star. It connected to their airlock with a gentle hiss. Elena ordered all crew to assembly stations. She didn't know what to expect. The airlock opened. Warm air rushed into the ship. Elena gasped as she felt heat on her face for the first time in days. 3 figures stepped through. They were tall, at least 7 feet, with smooth, silver skin and 4 arms. Their faces had large, dark eyes that seemed infinitely deep. They wore no protective suits, yet they seemed perfectly comfortable. The lead figure stepped forward. "I am Theron, Chief Engineer of the Kelthara Deep Space Station. We have brought emergency power cells and oxygen generators. We will restore your ship's systems." Elena felt tears forming in her eyes. "Thank you. Thank you so much. We thought we were going to die." Theron tilted his head slightly. "Why would we not help? You called for assistance. We answered. This is what civilized beings do." The Kelthara worked with incredible speed and efficiency. Within 2 hours, the wandering star had power again. The lights came back on. Warm air flowed through the ventilation systems. Children laughed as they felt warmth returning to their frozen fingers. Dr. Singh watched in amazement as Kelthara medics treated the sick and injured with devices she had never seen before. They were gentle with the children, speaking softly to calm their fears. In the cargo bay, Kelthara engineers showed Chen how to repair the damaged reactor. They didn't just fix it for him. They taught him, explaining each step with patience. "Your technology is impressive," Theron said to Elena as they stood on the bridge. "Primitive by our standards, but impressive nonetheless. You traveled so far with such limited resources." Elena felt embarrassed. "We're just trying to survive. To find a new home. I feeled." Theron's large eyes studied her. "You protect the young ones. You comfort the frightened. You refuse to surrender even when death seems certain. These are not small things. These are the marks of a worthy species." As night fell on the ship, the Kelthara prepared to depart. Their work was complete. The wandering star was fully operational again. Elena met with Theron one final time. "How can we ever repay you?" Theron made a gesture that might have been a smile. "One day, you will find someone else in need. Someone lost in the darkness. You will help them, just as we helped you. That is payment enough." The Kelthara returned to their station. Elena watched as the massive structure slowly moved away, its blue lights fading into the distance. She turned to her crew. "Set course for Kepler, 442b. We're going home." The wandering star reached Kepler 442b 3 months later. The planet was beautiful, with blue oceans and green continents visible from orbit. Elena stood on the bridge, watching their new home grow larger on the screens. "Begin landing procedures," she ordered. "Take us down to the northern valley. That's where we'll build our first settlement." The ship descended through white clouds. The colonists pressed against every window, eager to see their new world. Children pointed and shouted with excitement. After years of traveling through cold space, they were finally home. The landing was smooth. When the doors opened, fresh air rushed into the ship. It smelled of flowers and rain. People stepped out onto soft grass, laughing and crying with joy. Elena was the last to leave the ship. She knelt down and touched the soil with her bare hands. Over the next 6 months, the colony grew quickly. They built homes from local materials. They planted crops in the rich soil. They discovered that the planet had no dangerous predators, only gentle herbivores that reminded them of deer. Life was good. But Elena never forgot the Kelthara. She thought about them every day. One evening, as Elena walked through the settlement, young Lucy ran up to her. The girl was healthy now, her cheeks pink with life. "Captain Elena, come quick. There's something in the sky." Elena's heart jumped. She ran to the observation tower and looked up. A small ship was descending toward the colony. It wasn't human design. It was sleek and silver, with the same geometric patterns she remembered from the Kelthara station. "Everyone stay calm," Elena called out. "These might be friends." The ship landed gently in the town square. A ramp extended down. 3 Kelthara emerged, led by Theron. Elena ran forward. "Theron, you came back." Theron's large eyes seemed to brighten. "Greetings, Captain Martinez. We monitored your journey and wanted to ensure you arrived safely. We are pleased to see you thriving." The colonists gathered around, curious but unafraid. The children stared up at the tall aliens with wide eyes. "You traveled all this way just to check on us?" Elena asked, amazed. "Of course," Theron replied. "When you help someone survive, you become responsible for their future. This is our way." Over the next few days, the Kelthara stayed with the colony. They shared meals with the humans, though they ate different foods. They played games with the children, their 4 arms making them excellent at juggling. They taught the colonists better farming techniques and showed them how to purify water more efficiently. Dr. Singh spent hours talking with the Kelthara medical officer, learning about healing methods that seemed like magic. Chen learned about energy systems that could power the entire colony with a device the size of a backpack. On the third night, Elena and Theron sat together on a hill overlooking the settlement. The sky was filled with unfamiliar stars. "Your people are kind," Elena said. "You've given us so much and asked for nothing in return." Theron was quiet for a moment. 500 years ago, my people were like yours. We were struggling to survive, lost in space after our home world was destroyed. Another species found us, the Meridians. They saved us, taught us, helped us build a new civilization. Elena listened carefully. "The Meridians are gone now," Theron continued. "They disappeared into another dimension thousands of years ago. But before they left, they gave us one instruction. They said that help should flow through the universe like water, always moving forward, never stopping. They helped us, so we help others. One day, you will help someone else, and they will help another. This is how civilizations survive." "We will," Elena promised. "When we're strong enough, we'll look for others who need help." Theron stood up. "You are already strong enough. Strength is not about technology or weapons. It is about choosing to care when caring is difficult. You made that choice when you refused to give up on your people. That is true strength." The next morning, the Kelthara prepared to leave. They had given the colony a communications device that could reach across vast distances. "If you ever need assistance, call us," Theron said. "But I believe you will thrive here. This world suits you." Lucy ran forward and hugged Theron's leg. The tall alien gently patted her head with one of his 4 hands. "Thank you for saving us," Lucy said. "Thank you for showing us that humanity is worth saving," Theron replied softly. As the Kelthara ship lifted into the sky, the entire colony waved goodbye. Elena felt tears on her cheeks, but they were happy tears. That night, Elena called a meeting of all the colonists. "The Kelthara taught me something important," she said to the gathered crowd. "We aren't just here to survive. We're here to build something better. A society based on the same principles they showed us. Kindness, generosity, hope." The people nodded in agreement. "From this day forward, we will monitor space for distress signals," Elena continued. "When we find someone in need, we will help them, just as the Kelthara helped us. We will teach our children that this is what it means to be human, not to conquer or dominate, but to lift others up." The colonists cheered. Chen began working on a deep space monitoring system. Dr. Singh started training medics to help alien species they might encounter. Teachers added lessons about interspecies cooperation to the school curriculum. The settlement grew stronger. The crops flourished. Children played in safe streets. And every night, someone watched the stars, waiting for a signal, ready to help. Elena stood in her office, looking at a picture of the wandering star docked with the Kelthara station. She smiled. "We won't forget." She whispered to the image of Theron. "We'll pass it forward." 20 years had passed since the colony was established on Kepler 442b. The small settlement had grown into a thriving city of 10,000 people. Lucy, the little girl who once shivered in the cold ship, was now a young woman and the colony's chief communications officer. She sat at her monitoring station, scanning the deep space frequencies as she did every day. Suddenly, her screen lit up with an incoming signal. Her heart raced as she listened. "This is the transport vessel Golden Hope. We are under attack. Repeat, we are under attack by unknown forces. We have civilians aboard. Please, anyone who can hear this, we need help." Lucy's hands flew across the controls. She traced the signal to a location 3 days away at maximum speed. She ran to find Elena. who was now the colony's governor. "Governor Martinez, we picked up a distress call. A civilian ship is being attacked." Elena was older now, her hair streaked with gray, but her eyes still held the same determination. "How many ships do we have ready?" "The New Dawn and the Pathfinder are both fueled and ready," Lucy said. Elena didn't hesitate. "Prepare both ships. Get Chen and Dr. Singh. We leave in 1 hour." Within the hour, both ships launched into space. Elena commanded the New Dawn, while her son, Miguel, captained the Pathfinder. Miguel had been only 12 when they arrived on Kepler 442b. Now he was a skilled pilot. During the 3-day journey, Elena contacted Theron using the Kelthara communication device. "Theron, we're responding to a distress call. A ship is under attack. We may need assistance." Theron's familiar voice came through clearly. "We are too far away to reach you in time, Captain Martinez. But you have learned well. Trust your training. Trust your heart. You will know what to do." When they arrived at the coordinates, they found the Golden Hope surrounded by 3 dark ships. The attackers were firing energy weapons at the civilian vessel, which had no shields left. "This is Governor Elena Martinez of Kepler 442b Colony." Elena broadcast on all frequencies. "Cease your attack immediately. That vessel is under our protection." The attacking ships turned toward the human vessels. They were larger and clearly more powerful. A harsh voice responded. "Human insects. Leave now or be destroyed. This prey is ours. The Varric. Take what we want." Miguel's voice came through the comm. "Mom, their weapons are much stronger than ours. We can't win a fight." Elena thought quickly. She remembered what Theron had taught her. Strength wasn't about weapons. "Varric vessels, we do not wish to fight you. But we cannot abandon innocent people. What do you want from that ship?" There was a pause. Then the Varric leader responded. "They carry medical supplies, worth millions. We will sell them. On the black market." Elena made a decision. "What if we gave you something more valuable? We have Kelthara technology, energy cells, medical devices, farming equipment, worth far more than those supplies. We'll trade you for the safe release of that ship." Chen looked at her with wide eyes. "Governor, that equipment is irreplaceable." "So are the lives on that ship," Elena said firmly. The Varric ships stopped firing. "Show us this technology." Elena had Chen display images of the Kelthara devices. She could almost feel the Varric leader's greed through the communication line. "Acceptable," the Varric finally said. "Send the technology to our lead ship. The humans may leave." "No," Elena said. "First, you retreat to a safe distance. Then we'll verify the Golden Hope is undamaged and its crew is safe. Then we'll transfer the technology." The Varric leader growled. "You are brave for such weak creatures." "Very well." The Varric ships pulled back. Elena and Miguel carefully approached the Golden Hope. The civilian ship had taken damage, but everyone aboard was alive. There were 200 people inside, including many children. The captain of the Golden Hope was a Venturi, a species with blue skin and 3 eyes. Her name was Captain Zara. "Thank you," Zara said, her voice shaking. "We thought we were dead. Why did you help us? We are strangers to you." Elena smiled. "Because someone once helped us when we were dying in space. They taught us that this is what civilized beings do." End quote. Dr. Singh and her medical team boarded the Golden Hope to treat the injured. Chen began repairing their damaged engines. True to her word, Elena transferred the Kelthara technology to the Varric. The pirate ships took their prize and disappeared into space. Miguel contacted Elena. "We gave away equipment that took us 20 years to build. And we saved 200 lives," Elena replied. "That's a fair trade." Over the next 2 days, the human ships escorted the Golden Hope to the nearest safe port a Venturi trading station. Word of what happened spread quickly through the station. Captain Zara addressed the crowd that gathered. These humans gave up their most valuable possessions to save us. They asked for nothing in return. I have never seen such honor. An elderly Venturi merchant stepped forward. I knew of humans once, long ago. The Kelthera spoke of them with respect. They said humans had great hearts. Now I see this is true. Other species began approaching Elena. A Rigelian captain offered advanced shield technology as thanks. A Mantari trader gave them rare seeds that would grow better crops. A Xyloth engineer offered to teach them weapon systems for defense. We don't want weapons, Elena said gently. But we would appreciate the shield technology and the seeds. And if you want to truly thank us, help someone else who needs it. Pass the kindness forward. The Rigelian bowed. You are wise, human. We will remember this. When Elena and her ships returned to Kepler 442b, the entire colony celebrated. But Elena was quiet that night. Lucy found her standing alone, looking at the stars. Are you sad about the equipment we lost? Elena shook her head. No. I'm thinking about what we gained. The Varric saw that mercy can be more powerful than weapons. The Venturi learned that strangers can become friends. And our own people learned that their safety isn't worth more than someone else's life. Those lessons are worth more than any technology. Lucy smiled. Theron would be proud. Yes, Elena said softly. Yes, he would. 5 years after the rescue of the Golden Hope, the colony on Kepler 442b had become famous across several star systems. Species from dozens of worlds came to visit, curious about the humans who valued kindness over profit. Elena was now 70 years old. She walked with a cane, but her mind was still sharp. She had retired as governor, and Miguel now led the colony. But she still worked at the monitoring station with Lucy, listening for distress calls. One quiet morning, an unusual signal came through. It wasn't a distress call. It was a formal communication request from the Varric Consortium. Lucy looked confused. The Varric? The pirates who attacked the Golden Hope? Elena took the call. The same harsh voice from 5 years ago spoke, but this time it sounded different, less aggressive, almost respectful. Human Elder Martinez. I am Krez, leader of the Varric fleet you encountered. I request permission to visit your world. Elena raised her eyebrows. For what purpose? To talk. To learn. To understand why you gave up treasure to save strangers. Elena thought for a moment. You may come, but no weapons. 2 days later, a single Varric ship landed outside the city. Krez emerged with 2 guards. The Varric were large creatures, covered in thick gray scales with sharp claws. They looked dangerous, but they had left their weapons on the ship. Miguel met them with armed security, but Elena waved the guards away. They are guests, she said firmly. She led Krez and his guards through the city. The Varric looked around with wide eyes. They saw humans and aliens working together. They saw children playing safely in the streets. They saw markets where people traded fairly without cheating each other. This is strange, Krez said. Where are your slaves? Your prisons? Your soldiers? We have no slaves, Elena replied. We have a small jail for people who break our laws, but it's rarely used. And our security force is small because we don't have much crime. Krez shook his massive head. Impossible. Without fear. Elena smiled. We maintain order with trust, with respect, with the belief that everyone deserves dignity. She took him to a school where Venturi children studied alongside human children. She showed him the hospital where Dr. Singh, now quite elderly, still taught young doctors to treat all species equally. She brought him to the spaceport, where ships from many worlds came to trade peacefully. That evening, Elena and Krez sat together in her simple home. She served him water, as the Varric didn't eat the same foods as humans. Why did you really come here? Krez was quiet for a long time. Finally, he spoke. 5 years ago, you gave us valuable technology. We sold it for a fortune, just as we planned. But then, something happened. The species who bought it asked where we got it. When we told them we stole it, they refused to buy from us again. They said they only do business with honorable traders. He paused, his clawed hands gripping his knees. We lost half our customers. Other Varric clans began to question our methods. Some young Varric asked why we steal instead of trade. Your actions caused problems for us. Good, Elena said simply. Krez looked at her in surprise. You wanted to hurt us? No. I wanted to make you think. Krez nodded slowly. Yes. I have been thinking for 5 years. My clan is changing. We are learning to trade honestly. It is harder than stealing, but other species respect us now. We make less profit, but we sleep better. He looked at Elena with something like wonder. How did you know this would happen? I didn't, Elena admitted. I just knew that showing mercy was right. Everything else followed from that. The next morning, Krez made an announcement to the assembled colony. My people have done wrong for many generations. We took what wasn't ours. We hurt innocent beings. The humans showed us a different path. Today, the Varric Consortium pledges to become honorable traders. We will protect civilian ships instead of attacking them. We will help those in need instead of exploiting them. The crowd was silent, unsure if they could trust a Varric promise. Miguel stepped forward. Words are easy. How do we know you mean this? Krez reached into his clothing and pulled out a small device. This is the location of our clan's treasure vault. Inside are items we stole over decades. We cannot return them all to their original owners, but we can give them to you. Use them to help others. This is our first step toward redemption. Elena felt tears in her old eyes. Krez, you don't have to do this. Yes, we do, Krez said firmly. You gave up your treasure to save strangers. Now we give up ours to save ourselves, to become better than we were. 12 line. Over the following months, the Varric treasure was distributed to needy colonies across several systems. The Varric began escorting civilian ships through dangerous regions of space, protecting them instead of robbing them. Other pirate clans watched in disbelief as the Varric transformed themselves. 1 year later, Lucy received a communication from Theron. The old Kelthara's image appeared on the screen, and Elena was called to see him. Captain Martinez, Theron said warmly. We have been watching your progress. The Kelthara Council wishes to formally recognize humanity as a Tier 1 civilization. Elena was confused. What does that mean? It means you have achieved what few species ever do. You have built a society based on compassion rather than conquest. You have changed other species through example rather than force. You have proven that wisdom is more valuable than weapons. Theron paused, and his large eyes seemed to glow with pride. It took my people 2,000 years to reach Tier 1 status. You have done it in 25 years. You are ready to join the Council of Civilized Worlds. Elena thought about the long journey, the dying ship in space, the Kelthara who saved them, the promise to pass kindness forward, the Venturi they rescued, the Varric they transformed, all the small acts of mercy that rippled across the stars. We accept, she said quietly, and we promise to keep helping others, just as you helped us. That night, the entire colony celebrated under the alien stars. Young and old, human and non-human, all together. Elena stood with Lucy, watching the festivities. Do you remember when you were a little girl, freezing on the wandering star? Lucy smiled. I remember you promised me it would get warm again. You kept that promise. We all did, Elena said. Together. Above them, a Kelthara ship descended, bringing Theron to join the celebration. The old alien and the old human embraced like the dear friends they had become. And across the galaxy, on 100 different worlds, beings told stories of the humans who chose kindness over power and changed the universe, one merciful act at a time. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Sonnet 4.5